Hey y'all, welcome back. I thought I would make a quick video on how I do my ponytails because I know someone I remembered in one of my live streams did ask me how I did that, and so that just now gave me the idea to make a video on it. And plus this is perfect timing too because I haven't done my hair yet today, and so let me show you. So all you're gonna need is your hairbrush, a hair tie, but also hair clips if needed. But that's not really a requirement unless if you're me, who literally unless if you are typically somebody who also has thick hair, but also some of that hair does not hold up very good, then that's when you can use hair clips and stuff. But right now I'm starting off by taking out my clips. So usually that would be a second. So, and usually my clips, you guys, I usually scatter them in locations to where I know it's gonna pop out. And so that's a pretty good tip. And so give me real quick of a second to do that because I am almost done. Just got a couple more to go. And so, yeah. And for people wondering where I got my brush at, I think I got this brush at Walmart. I think that's where I got this brush at, was Walmart. I love these kind of brushes because first off, the bristles in here they're very rubbery and thin, and they're not gonna really, and it's really good because they get through tangles a lot easier than normal brushes that I've used in the past, because it would be that either my hair would hurt from doing it, or and so okay, so here's the hair tie. I'm gonna switch the hair tie out though, just to kind of go along with it. So all you gotta do is grab a hair tie of any kind. You can use these kind of hair ties, or you can use a regular standard hair tie, which is like this one. Like, you can use any of them, but in my case, I usually use these because they don't tug as, like, they don't go, not super, like, they're not so tight on my hair, but also they aren't not nearly as crazy. And so I'm gonna take my glasses off so it's easy to do. So all I do is I just brush my hair out like you would do. So I'm gonna brush my hair out real quick. And just make sure you brush your hair out really good before you get started, because if you don't, knots will form. On the sides of the ponytail, you would have knots and stuff forming, especially lumps you would see forming, and we don't want to see that, especially if you're out in public. And so, y'all, a lot of times, my ponytails usually will range from low to medium ponytail, but I think I will show you guys how I do my medium ponytails a lot. So I might show you guys how to do it high medium. So, okay, my hair is now brushed. So now all I do is I gather my hair like I normally would do if you were doing a ponytail. Sometimes you're gonna have to kind of bend a certain way. So in this instance, since I'm doing a high medium ponytail, meaning it's a medium ponytail, but it's a little higher than where you normally would have it. And so all I do is I arch back and brush again. So that way I can get all my hair straightened out. So that way when I go to gather it, it won't come undone. But also it won't be tangly again because it will want to go back to. Okay, now since it's like decent enough, excuse me, in this position, you grab your hair like this and you pull all of it. You pull it to where you want it. So in this instance, we want it a little higher than you would want. So in medium ponytails, they're usually like this. But what we're going for is a little bit higher. So we go a few inches higher, like this. Now we go back with a brush and brush those areas because over time it's gonna continue to get all messed up. But that's just because you're getting it to the height you wanted it. And so now we just continue brushing. And hold that ponytail up while you were brushing the other side. Even so, kind of make sure you guys are brushing the side and the back. So that way when you go to secure it, it won't show lumps everywhere. And now the next checkpoint you do is to check the top, make sure it's not showing lumps. So if you were to be looking at different positions all day, it won't show a single nut plus lump. And so usually these will take about a couple minutes to get. So now, alternate hands, you kind of have to alternate your hands in the same position until you can get it where you want it. And so, now, and now, and also what's another good tip too is just to smooth out areas as you are doing that. So even if it means brushing over spots and stuff while you're going, because you know they will literally find ways to literally track you back to where it was last located. So you're kind of getting a slightly longer version of me doing it behind the scenes. So now we're at least almost there. So now just gonna brush underneath so it's smooth on the bottom. And it's even really important to brush the bottom parts too, so that way the bottom, it's not gonna be all jagged down there. Because a lot of the times things like that, they will get jagged like that. So, and plus, and sometimes you kind of have to keep arching your body back just to get it where you want it. And so that's kind of what you have to do in order to get. So you have to do that a lot too. So it's not just me brushing to just high up. Get out of my hair, pull like any ordinary. And so here we go. So see how I just did that? It's not tied though yet, so it's gonna be a little bit of a second. Sometimes you're gonna have to kind of step on the frame for like a second just to get it. See how I'm just holding it right now, not just it's tied yet? It's because A, you want to make sure you get all of those knots. plus lumps out, because if you think you got all of them, sometimes what's just going to happen there is you're going to assume that and not think about it. And so, yeah. And so, again, we go back and smooth. And if there's a certain area in the hair you just notice that is not cooperating, brush along that area where you see that knot forming. But also, so now we're almost there. But also smooth, push that hair all the way back so it gets further so you don't see it. So now it's checkpoint time in here. So now we check to make sure that there's not a single lump coming out. So even for me, if that, like right now I'm looking at my mirror as I'm videoing you guys. And right now there is not a single knot or lump showing from angles yet. And if you even notice your hair has a couple flyaways sticking out, don't worry about those because those are just short hairs. And we will be able to go back over those here in just a second. So now since we finally have our hair in that spot, we grab our hair tie and we tie it back. I kind of, with these spans, I kind of go an extra, because if you think, sometimes in these, you kind of think 3 loops is enough. No, you kind of have to do 4. You kind of have to do 4 depending on your hair length, because, you know, a lot of the times they will say up to 3, but no, sometimes they'll be loose enough to hide out. Now, since it's back, we are gonna split the parts in 2. See how it's in 2? And now we pull like that. And now our hair is up. Now I will do the hair clip step. So for people who want to see that step, so if you have this issue too, so now I grab each clip now, and especially I start here first because that's where most of the hair is going to drive me crazy at, is I pull through, and I like to pull up to kind of go high. So see, I went here and it lifts. It almost gives me almost a little bit of a lift when I do that. And then the same thing on this side. I pull up, clip. See how I'm almost getting almost a slight lift on these sides here? See how it's a little high right there? That's because when I go to put up, you kind of see a bit of a lift that happens. And now we continue doing the same thing, but behind where the other one was, because again, one you think is enough, no it's not. Because a lot of the times with people with my hair length, or just other people's hair that also has my same problem, what's going to happen is it's not going to be stable enough to continue holding. Now we're going to clip back here. And even I clip back here too, because sometimes there might be access knots that just randomly showed up from doing it. So you just cover those with clips so you don't see them. Now it's all hidden. And so I just kind of go over, and then if you notice again that there's another flyaway sticking out, you come back here, do that, boom. And now keep feeling around air, and I like to kind of feel around the spots too, so to see if I feel like I'm gonna need a clip there, or if it's gonna do good how it is. And sorry guys, my shirt keeps going up. It's because, you know, even that's also the thing too, your shirt is gonna pull up a bit, so you're gonna have to kind of check in here a couple times to make sure that it's not trying to show your stomach while you were trying to clip it up, you know? Because, and even, I like to even go, so on the back part of my ponytail back here, I also like to go back there as well. Because a lot of the times, even the back hairs especially don't like to stay back. So, I like to go back there a couple times and just get them really well so that way they stay where they need to be. And then back here as well, I kind of just feel around. And so, yeah. Now, grab this clip and I now go on this side. And if you need to, grab hairspray and just spray this part and then pull it and then just smooth it up. So that way it can stay up. Because sometimes you just really need them in the corners sometimes just to keep them up and out of your face. But you can also do it a little bit in the back. So now, especially those ears are really important to have sprayed sometimes because a lot of the times outer hairs are literally gonna want to do the same thing where they're gonna want to come out of those. So if you hairspray them decently to where it's not gonna do it to you, then you're not gonna have to complain about those. Now, I'm gonna clean my glasses real quick and put them back on. And yeah, now the final step you do now is, for example, if you did do the hairspray step, go back at your ponytail just to make sure that any of it didn't go through your ponytail, because it can. Because sometimes it can do that. And so, so I just do is run my fingers through, or just kind of just like bend it a bit, just so it doesn't. That way it can just break loose and not stay. And this is why you guys, and sometimes if you want it up a little bit, I just push 1 more inch higher and do the same pulling method, which is this contract. So this, it's a slight pull. So if you are gonna ask me a question on how that tugging works, so what you do is put your hair into, so that ponytail that's in, you separate it into 2 sections. So once you get all the hair in the right order, so like this, then you do a pull method. So you just this and then you just pull it at the same time. So you compress in your hand like this. Watch what my hands do at the same time. See how I just did that little pull like that? That's what keeps it stay. That's what you do, is you just grab those 2 sections and you just do a slight pull, not like a huge aggressive pull, but like a medium compress pull, meaning going this, not this. Because if you were doing this, you would just damage all that. But if you go like this and just gently tug it, so do this, that, it will get into that position you want it to be, and it will stay pretty good throughout the day without any issue. So I hope you guys like that little tutorial, and if you kind of are curious about other content ideas, you can definitely drop them below, and I will see y'all later on.